There's a lot that happened since I released my video last Wednesday. Nick got arrested. Many people's worst fears turned out to be true, and then some. He was doing drugs, namely coke, ketamine, signs of heroin as well. Enough so that he's looking at 25 years. And now it looks like all the swinging allegations are also true. The worst part of it was the charges of child neglect. Well, this morning, we all got a copy of the arrest warrant, which you can look at the important bits on your screen. I'm not gonna do any video edits in this, so you won't need to keep watching the screen, just listen. With this warrant, and what is alleged to have occurred, a line was crossed. Even his church was suspecting him of having some swingers lifestyle, but I'm not gonna go into the church and religious side of things. Though this may explain why he complained in the past about his church and pastor changing or being bad people, whatever else he said. What I wanna focus on, the key point, is the people who ultimately turned him in, his own children. Here's what I thought last week. Nick was taking alcoholism too far, and he was occasionally doing some coke on the side. His wife and kids were just fine. There was no swinging or anything going on. None of that was true, and you're silly for believing that this wholesome conservative Christian family man will be engaged in this. The evidence has, at this point, been too long and overwhelming. I'm finding out in private DMs that some people who streamed with him and kept pretending like nothing was wrong, have known for as much as over a year that he was heavy into the drugs. Some are now publicly alleging he bought hookers. At this point, there is not a single rumor I can ignore, because it seems like every rumor has turned out to be true. Between the people he was swinging with saying that he was doing this, the church suspecting him of swinging and doing drugs, all the drugs they actually found, everything going back to Hedonism Hotel back in the summer of 2022. No reasonable person can ignore so much, all culminating to his home being raided. If Nick was just ruining his own life, going down the drain, and his friends and family were only tangentially hurt by it, it's reasonable that you would still want to be friends and see your friend get some help. If it was just drinking and doing drugs, that is a standard textbook "we need to help a friend" type of story. If it was a gambling problem, or if he was being a kleptomaniac, stealing random stuff from a Walmart for the rush of it, that's a friend who needs help. A friend you should help. As of today, the line between a friend who needs help and monster you should abandon has been crossed. His children were complaining to their preschool teacher that they were hungry, that they were not being fed. They complained that they smelled because they would not give them new clothes for days at a time. This is child neglect, child abuse, and that is where the friendship stops. Child abuse. There's no negotiation here, no trying to reason, no excuse making. I defended Nick on allegations of swinging and infidelity. I defended him until I saw the powder in his nose of drug use. And I defended him that he would ever do anything to harm or abuse his kids. I've been shown to be wrong in every one of those counts. It's not complicated. If I view his story through the lens of someone I don't know, who left his children hungry and stinking to the point where they had to complain to someone, seeking help because the parents were too busy getting high and drunk and fucking multiple people, I'd call him a miserable piece of shit who deserves what's coming to him. It doesn't matter if he helped me make money or if he said nice things to me. There comes a point when loyalty and friendship stops. His children are probably going to be ruined. They watched both of their parents devolve into drug-addled, sex-crazed alcoholics. They got to experience their parents neglecting them. And I guess this is speculation on my part, but I will be shocked if they never laid any hands on them when they were high and the kids were getting all uppity. They had to experience, to whatever extent, their parents being swingers. The younger ones might be fine, but the older ones may have very well figured out what was going on. They had to experience the police ramming their door open in a raid. They had to experience being taken away, inevitably questioned, asked what their parents might have done to them, wondering if all this is now their fault. They have to be ripped away from them, and rightly so. These kinds of things destroy children, and messes with them in ways that leave scars they will carry with them for the rest of their lives. This line also crosses something else, namely with other people. Defending him up until this point is understandable. After this point, with the child abuse, any defense of "he's still my friend," or "it's not that bad," or "as I have been seeing, the government is making it all up," then you need to go fuck yourself. People always wonder how cults are so easily started, or how people can excuse others of doing horrible actions. I'm seeing it in real time. I'm seeing people, even now, trying to circle the wagons for a drugged up, child abusing alcoholic because he is the niche internet micro celebrity they've decided to latch onto. Maybe I'm just really strange, But when it comes to making real life friends, not internet friends, I choose them based on what I think are people I will never have to make excuses for when it comes to anything like this. I made my choices on friends based on if they seemed like good people. If they ever stop being good people, the child abusing kind of bad people, then the friendship ends. Every single friend of mine would look to me and the rest of the friends in these groups and be confused as to why I'm even stating something so obvious. Of course, if you end up being some drugged up child abusing alcoholic, the friendship will be over. If you became that, you would no longer be the friend that we accepted as a friend. Granted, every person in the circle would have noticed something was wrong and would have intervened a long time ago. Drexel, where the hell have you been during all this, you soulless piece of shit? Sadly, this is the second time in my life I've been confronted with this. Not the child abuse part, but the spiraling drug addiction part. I tried in my own way to help someone, specifically the brother of one of my best friends, to stay away from this stuff. I even got angry at the best friend and everyone else for trying to tell me that he relapsed again, that he had been lying to me about so many things. Boy, did I feel humiliated when he got arrested again. But I never talked to him from that point on. If he had children and he left them in such a destitute state, I'd be in prison if I found that out. I wouldn't be trying to find technicalities in a search warrant. As far as I'm concerned, to me, Nick is dead. With that, there's some people I would like to address right now. When I made the video last week, I was actually concerned it would have wrecked my channel. I had a lot of overlap with his fans after all, but to my surprise, this wasn't the case. In fact, I was shocked at just how many agreed with me, who also saw what I saw. I released a video a day before he got arrested. Talk about prophetic. To the people who were saying I was getting upset that he only got a little drunk on stream, do you regret your own stupidity yet? Your own blindness? To the people calling me a snake who stabbed him in the back, do you still feel that way? Remember the tone of the previous video and compare it to the tone of this one. The previous video was not me stabbing him in the back. This video is me stabbing him in the front. As far as I'm concerned, all my associations with him are done, as are any associations, present or future, for anyone who chooses to excuse him from this point on. In terms of me being worried of losing customers who still side with Rekieta, I'm not worried about that for one of two reasons. The first will be that, if you eventually realize what kind of an idiot you are for defending him past today, or even in the past week, you'll come to your senses, realize I was right, and also realize I'm not gonna hold it against you. The other reason is if you continue to support him after this, then you will eventually come crawling to me anyway, because you are a follower, a slave without change. I just need to get internet famous enough, and you will come crawling back, hoping to vicariously live through me like you do with so many other e-celebrities. I don't respect you, but I will take your money. To those who thought it was all a grift. If it was really a grift, I would have gone live or made a video right after he got arrested, because that's when the story was hottest. Oh, I would have made a lot of money then, but I didn't. I specifically chose not to, and said I wouldn't. Obviously, the search warrant changes things. Many people seem to not understand this, and maybe it's my fault for not explaining it properly, but my deals with Rekieta was affiliate marketing based. He got paid for every single sale. The super chats were not part of that deal, and were essentially free money on top of it. So it wasn't just that he agreed to help. He was making a lot of money, thousands if not tens of thousands of dollars over the years. If I wasn't his largest monetary contributor, I was easily in the top 3. So let's not pretend like this was some one-way street. He's earned at least 5 figures from me. So you want to talk about backstabbing? How about how he decided to stab me in the back, ruining both our financial situations, if all you can think about is grifting? Because I tell you what, the previous video was about friendship, but it's certainly not about friendship anymore. That ship has sailed. So with that, go check out the tea shop that formerly made Nick thousands, but now disavows him. The Dragon's Treasure, a haven for anime and tea lovers. Sorry if this promo is not full of energy. I can't say I'm feeling it right now. First time customers get a 25% off coupon code in May, so use it while you can. And if this offends you on behalf of Nick Rekieta, well, first of all, maybe I've lost my way, so I guess you should pray for me, like you do for him, right? You want to practice your forgiveness? Well, practice it. And second off, just remember, he is someone who always put the grift first, so I am sure he would approve of all of this. Buy my tea, my coffee, my soaps, and whatever else. Subscribe, share this video with people, like, and comment.